Okay, let's begin. Start by coming into a position in your seat that is comfortable. Allow for the body to just connect to the earth beneath you. And as you're getting settled in, just start to notice the way you feel in this moment physically. Starting at the feet, begin to just use your mind's eye to start to look up the body from the feet to the legs to the hips to the belly to the back to the chest, the shoulders to the elbows, to the forearms, to the hands, and the fingertips, to the neck, the tongue, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears, and to the head and to the crown of the head. And on your next inhale in, allow for the breath to help you with the scan, bringing your breath in a welcoming way to each part of your body without the need to require anything in return or expect anything. And do this for the next 20 breath cycles, full cycles of breath, inhales, pauses, exhales, and pauses. And just see if you can be patient with yourself through this process. No need to rush or jump ahead. And if you happen to get caught up in a certain place on your body, just allow yourself to fully embrace that as part of the practice. And then move yourself along. All you're doing is scanning the body, noticing what's there. No requirements, no expectations. Next, we want to move inward, relieving ourselves of the surface body and going a little bit deeper, going towards our emotions and feelings right now. If it helps for you to take a hand and place it on your heart or even on some place on your body that you feel emotion intensely, like maybe the belly And for some people, it's the hips or the legs, wherever that might be. You can go ahead and you can just place a hand there if that's in your will to do so. And just whatever comes up, allow it to come up without any expectation as to what it should be or what it should look like or feel like. And be patient here. If you don't feel anything at first, that's okay. The absence of certain feelings is also a sense of being. And just sit with yourself for a few moments and bring the breath to these feelings and space that are deeper within. If there's an intense emotion, invite your breath to that emotion, beginning to breathe in and out to the boundary, supporting the emotion with your breath, with compassion and kindness. Imagine that for a moment that this breath completely supports this emotion. And we can give this emotion a shape just for now, and let's give it the shape of a flower amongst other flowers. Whatever your emotion is, allow it to take the shape of that flower. Regardless of what it looks like, let it naturally just wrap into what that looks like. If it could be something physical, there's colors and texture associated with it. Let that flower take on those characteristics. And each time that you experience this emotion where you feel yourself shameful or wanting to pull away, I want you to embrace that in this moment with the breath. And as you do that, I just want you to notice that the flower starts to diminish and shrink each time you pull away or want to fight the emotion. Whether it's good or bad, it shrinks and it shrinks. As you continue to sit with it, notice any insecurities associated with this position that you're taking on the flower. If it's a feeling that you like, if there's any fears, that it'll go away. If it's something that's intense or difficult to deal with, that you don't want it there. But every way that we act or react to this flower causes it to shrink, no matter if it is what we think to be good or bad or neutral. Regardless of our expectation, the flower continues to shrink. And our breath follows that flower until it comes to a seed. And the flower reverts back to a seed in the soil. The breath is also a seed in the soil. And just sit here for a few moments until you can't shrink anymore. until it's just a seed. And whatever's here, you just have to accept. And the breath is here to support, placing a hand on your shoulder, saying nothing, but providing everything breath by breath. And just sitting here for a few moments. A sense of true acceptance. If at any time your mind reverts to anything that it needs to be different or tries to react, this time allow the breath to let that go. And as you take an inhale in, let compassion and kindness permeate throughout, touching that shoulder of that emotion just as it is, treating it with love, just as a friend. There is nothing else you can change here. The breath can allow you to just breathe into things as they are, letting you know that it's okay. For the next 30 breath cycles, continue to just sit here as you are. No expectation. Each time you have an expectation, your breath comes and wipes that away. You have no other choice in this space but to accept things as they are. Accept the emotion as it is. And listen, even if there's silence. Notice anything that the seed needs that it may be missing as it is here in its truest form. A seed that is planted. Notice what it's originally supposed to have been. Notice its authenticity. Any feelings or expectations around it are not its true nature. whatever you need right now for this seed to be encouraged to become the true form of what it's supposed to have been. Right now, allow water to saturate the soil, and that this water is filled with whatever you need to restore you and to restore the seed. And if it's insecurity, maybe it's this sense of confidence that is going to be rebuilt and that's going to grow. And the water is all those things that would support confidence. If it's frustration, and its opposite is maybe patience. And that there was a reason something was missing, a lack of understanding or wisdom. And now the water saturates the soil and supplies it with that. Whatever that bit of knowledge is that you're able to receive in this authentic part of the seed without your interference of fixing things, just allow it to be filled naturally with its resources. Each drop of water, allowing it to be one step closer to growing in a way that fully supports this new knowledge and understanding of yourself. And as the seed begins to grow, the breath also continues to follow, encouraging it, supporting it. And as it bursts out the ground, it's a new flower, it's a new plant, it's a new being. Allow it to take shape naturally. It may be more than a flower. It may be a tree, maybe a bush, maybe a whole different kind of flower that was trying to fit in with a bunch of roses. But it was really a daffodil or a mustard tree that was trying to fit in with a bunch of flowers. Just allow yourself to grow naturally without this expectation of the world around you, letting the seed sprout up in its natural state, destined to be what it can be without any regard for being different, for looking different now than it did before, and without holding on to any expectations. Let it just grow and flourish naturally, naturally in the world to serve its purpose. And for the remainder of this class, just sit within this space in this new, renewed way, in this new purpose, and see if you can just sit with it and identify and embrace with each breath yourself within the space. Just sitting with it, nothing to do, no judgment, continuing to breathe, feeling the support of the breath moment by moment, knowing that you are not alone, that the breath is here in a compassionate and kind way to support you and help you grow. Let's notice the details as you observe what the purpose is, its new form, and feel the act of acceptance and allowance. Notice what happens when you let go of control and just allow things to be as they are. And trust